Hello, readers. This is Justin's 52 Books, where I discuss my selections for the 52 Book Club's reading challenges. And right now, I'm gearing up for the 2023 reading challenge, which we should be seeing prompts for in a week or so in November. Before the 2023 reading challenge really comes out, I'd like to take a second and talk about something I've been planning for the last couple weeks. This year, I am going to be celebrating the legacy of female science fiction authors with my 2023 52 Book Club Reading Challenge. There are several reasons for this. First, I love reading challenges, and that's why I do this. I love the search, I love the scavenger hunt, I love applying this knowledge that I have in my head no matter what to this kind of fairly arbitrary set of questions. And what the reading challenges allow me to do is to look at books in a different manner than I had before. And by adding criteria, such as all science fiction or all female authors or all of that, I get to really examine what I read, why I read it, and look at my reading in a different way. I love thinking about books, and this allows me yet another way to think about them. Second, last year I was reading a book, this one, The History of Science Fiction, a graphic novel adventure by Xavier Dollo and Djibril Morrissette-Phan. Great book, good overview of science fiction. There's some translation issues, I feel, but, and I'm not entirely sure I understood it all because it gets a little esoteric at certain points, but at the end, you have Judith Merrill, she's an editor, was an editor of science fiction anthologies through the 60s and 70s. England Swings SF and the year's best SF anthology series, yearly anthology series. She was in charge of those. And in this, they have her discussing with H.G. Wells. They wake up H.G. Wells, and she's showing him around and showing him the legacy of female science fiction authors. And it culminates in this kind of graphic timeline, family tree almost of female authors from Mary Shelley all the way down to modern day with N.K. Jemisin and River Solomon and I think Kameron Hurley and Jeanette Ng. And I was just taken by that concept, that legacy. And I was heartened by how many of those authors I had read and how much stuff on there was, like I felt knowledgeable about. And at the same time, I also felt disheartened by how many of the authors from the 70s and 80s, particularly that era, I had not even heard of. So I want to educate myself. I started kicking around the library searches to add titles to my to-read list. And that started looking like this kind of Romney-esque binder full of women. So I need to engage with that. And what better way than this reading challenge coming up in 2023 to really, with pinpoint accuracy, embrace the legacy of female science fiction authors. Third, I love science fiction. I love good science fiction, and I love exploring science fiction and constantly redefining those boundaries and expectations of what is actually considered quote-unquote good. So while this might seem almost altruistic or mission-oriented or charitable, I'd like to push back on that concept just a little bit, and any sad puppy accusations of virtue signaling. I'd like to push back on that and say this isn't for them. No, I want the best science fiction. I will never know if I have the best science fiction if I haven't read as widely as possible from as many sources as possible. No, this isn't for them, the authors. This is for me, the reader, as quite honestly any book should be. So that's it. Kind of a mission statement for my 2023 52 Book Club Reading Challenge. I'm adding some criteria, adding some layers of complexity. We'll see what I can come up with. All women, all science fiction, maybe some adjacent genres like fantasy or horror. We'll see. Maybe some nonfiction. I got some nonfiction books about female authors. Octavia Butler and Ursula Le Guin kind of come to mind. We'll see what we come up with. But I really wanted to engage with the field and kind of make up for lost time and maybe lost inclination and read some of these authors I've never found time for or never made time for. Yeah, I want to fully understand and be witness to the legacy of women in science fiction with my 52 book club reading challenge as much as I can. So the prompts for next year should be coming out out soon. And when they do, I'll probably do a quick hot take on some of my initial thoughts going through that list. And so in a couple weeks, I hope to see you for that. And so here's to a good 2023 reading challenge. Until next time, happy reading.